Did we get promoted to a bigger studio?
There's a graphic and everything.
We are back.
Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch. A two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock. It's 2026. Happy New Year. And I can say that because it's the first day of Pitch Clock baseball back here. New Year. Hey, Chris.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, we still do that.
Forget about that bit?
I kind of did. I'm glad we brought it into the year 2026.
For the podcast listeners, I had to point to myself there to cue Jeremy to toss it to me for that.
Well, we brought that back. We also brought Ethan back. Hey, Ethan.
Why'd you do that?
Some things you want to bring back, some
things you don't.
then
you bring me back.
I get hate over there, and we have to dish it to you over here. So, Ethan, what's our trivia game for this very first episode of the Pitch Clock in 2026?
We're going to draft a team of 7 infielders. And what we're going to do is we're going to add up their home run totals between 2005 and 2009. We're going right into the wheelhouse, boys.
Whoa.
And whoever has the most home runs is the winner.
And this is positionally? Like, can we take all first basemen or all third basemen?
No, I would like for you to select at least one of each, and then you have your pick for 3. So 4 starters, let's say, and then 3 bench players is basically what we're doing for. And we're only picking infielders.
This is a good one. Okay.
And this is like the 7 combined totals, not your starters totals.
Correct. The 7 combined total. Yep.
Okay.
So let's knock out. Let's plan on in our first 4 rounds knocking out our starting infield, and then
You can use your strategy. I'll use mine.
Well, no, we should have a rule for that, where you have to get one of each position.
Yeah, I
and
think
then
get one of each first,
Fine.
and then we'll.
And we're
go
not
3
talking
starters.
about
3 bench players.
catcher, including infield, right? First, second,
No.
third. So Chris, you get the first pick amongst all of these.
Alex Rodriguez.
That is obviously a great pick.
Yeah, thank you.
A-Rod hit 202 home runs between 2005 and 2009.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and knock out first baseman Albert Pujols.
Pujols, second in this time span with 206.
Ooh.
Keep that in game.
Let me get Jim Thome.
Jim Thome would be the answer there, not Jim Thome.
No.
Ah, he's doing a thing.
Jim Thome had 141
There
over
it
his
is.
time.
141. I'm trying to think. Going around the league in my brain. I'm going shortstop. Miguel Tejada.
Miguel Tejada. All right.
I just don't know.
As A-Rod.
Well, A-Rod's your third baseman.
Oh, he is?
In that window? Yeah, he's your third
is?
baseman.
05 to 09.
Yeah. That's why I went shortstop. Because I assumed you...
I had A-Rod written down as my shortstop.
Just so that I can... Ooh, man. Just so that I can go on strategy. Because this is a huge difference.
I think we should be able to, like, guys that played multiple
I should be able
positions,
to
you
put 'em
can
where I
pick
want.
where they
Well, you should have been able to... hold on a second. You should have had to say that out loud and declare where he was playing that.
this
No,
guy
because
in
my whole,
hindsight-
Hold on.
my whole
let's
strategy
just
was
take a
to...
look.
My whole strategy was to go for a position that you hadn't done, attempting to try to get number 1. I was holding off on third base for a reason.
Sorry, you just get to make the rules. And
Yeah,
third
by
baseman.
this time,
He's a third
A-Rod
baseman.
didn't play shortstop after 05, and
Thank
he
you.
played 6 innings of shortstop
Thank
in
you.
05.
Thank you.
So A-Rod, I'm
He's a
going to
third
declare
baseman.
as
He
your
played-
third baseman.
Oh, 6
I'm going to declare him as your third
No,
baseman.
he's a third baseman.
Wild.
This is a house ruling.
This is
That's
why we shouldn't do
crazy.
the thing of
This is
you
house
need
rule.
one at every
Okay,
position.
05.
Just draft 7 guys in the infield. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, you'll be able to.
Yeah,
after
but then
your
you would
first
just
few
draft
rounds.
7 first basemen.
Yeah.
This is gross.
It's our first guest of 2026. He was also our most frequent guest of 2025. The Emmy winner, Adnan Virk, joins us here as our first guest of the year on the Pitch Clock. Adnan, welcome to the show.
Jeremy, it's great to see you again, buddy. Thank you. I was so glad I was a featured guest a year ago, and I'm glad you got the Emmy Award winner part in there because that's the key. You know, Joe DiMaggio would not go anywhere unless he was introduced as the world's greatest living ball player, even though Willie Mays was still alive, was a better ball player than Joe D. So thank you for fluffing my ego. Let's talk some baseball, buddy.
Emmy winner Adnan, I want to talk to you about the 4 big moves that were made over the last week. Different significance for each of them, but all pretty impactful. You got Mackenzie Gore traded to the Rangers. You got Freddie Peralta traded to the Mets. Then, of course, Harrison Bader signing with the Giants. And then, of course, you had Cody Bellinger returning to the New York Yankees. Which of those 4 moves over the last week do you find the most impactful?
Well, it's interesting. Each guy, by the way, Harrison Bader, my friend Scott Rogowski, christened the Master, which you're like, what? I'm like, that's his nickname, Harrison the Master. You fill in the rest. I think Mackenzie Gore is going to be a great number 3. You know, for years, everyone said this guy's ace level stuff, which he is, but he hasn't been an ace yet. But I think on the Rangers as a number 3 is phenomenal because you've got Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi. I think he could be like literally one of the best number 3s in all of baseball. So that's good news. Bellinger was absolutely vital for the New York Yankees. But the answer is Freddie Peralta. This guy led the National League in wins with 17 and a 2.70 ERA a season ago. Tons of strikeouts, great durability. And David Stearns loves him. And you see what David Stearns is doing, just kind of rebuilding this Brewers team with guys that he knows, whether it's Devin Williams fleecing him away from the New York Yankees, or in this case, getting Peralta. Like, I think he's an absolute stud. I think he's, you know, top 10, top 15 pitcher in baseball. He got Cy Young votes a season ago. For Milwaukee, I mean, to give him up, that's one thing. We just get used to this, right? They trade guys away. But for the Mets, that really fortifies their rotation.
Yep.
Now you've got a true blue ace atop there. Senga went from being a Cy Young contender to going to AAA, so he completely fell off. You have no idea what you're getting there. Manaea is very inconsistent, but I love Nolan McLean. Tong, obviously, his second season, so he's got to prove, but you got Peralta. That really helps out that Mets rotation.
So we just talked about the Mets. We added the Yankees to that. And I want to talk to you about some of these big market teams here. And maybe I'll have you stack these up for me in terms of their offseason. Because the Mets added Peralta. They also added Marcus Semien. They added Luis Robert Jr., Bo Bichette. They lost Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso. The Yankees, of course, bring back Bellinger. They trade for Ryan Weathers as a starter. A somewhat quiet offseason for the Yankees, all things considered. Another Marlins pitcher traded. It was Edward Cabrera to the Cubs. They also signed Alex Bregman. And then, of course, there's the Dodgers, who bring in Edwin Diaz. They bring in Kyle Tucker. Can you stack up these 4 big market offseasons for me in Chicago, L.A., and both New York teams?
Yeah, I think LA obviously wins the free agency again, which is
of course.
You sign Kyle Tucker, you get Edwin Diaz, you get one of the best closers in baseball, and a terrific hitter to bolster that lineup. LA wins, okay, no doubt about that. In terms of the other teams, I think the Mets are at the very least intriguing. I don't know if necessarily better, but they've reshaped their roster. Apparently, they had a bad clubhouse. That's kind of been out there for a while. The locker room wasn't great, so okay, we had issues with regards to Brandon Nimmo. He's gone. McNeil gone. Pete Alonso, I think, is a good guy. I think they don't really value him as much as the Orioles did, so they give him a 5-year deal. He's gone. And then Diaz, I think they would have liked to cap, but he just wanted to go to the Dodgers. So, As you said, you get Peralta in there, who's outstanding. Simeon's a great defender. Bo Bichette's going to hit no matter what. Bo Bichette would have been the batting champion in the American League if it wasn't for Aaron Judge. He's going to get you 180, 185 hits. He always delivers. His defense is a little suspect. I don't know how it's going to play at third base. I did talk to Mike Lowell, of course, former Major League third baseman. He said, you know, he'll need that 2.5 weeks in spring training just to figure out the angles, but he thinks that Bo will actually do a decent job acclimating. And obviously it makes sense because Lindor is at shortstop and Simeon's there at second base. So I would rank it Dodgers 1, Mets 2nd, Cubs 3rd. I'm with you on Cabrera being a good pickup, and I do think Bregman's obviously a terrific hitter. And then the Yankees haven't done a ton, but I do think Bellinger was their most important piece of business. They did that. And Weathers throws hard. They gave up like 4 prospects to get him. So he's at least a guy that can slot in because Rodon's not available till May 1st, and Garrett Cole's not going to be back till June 1st. So they're going to need some innings there.
I can tell you the Marlins are very excited about both of those trades, and I am very excited about the Mike Lowell reference.
Miguel Tejada had 95 home runs from 2005 to 2009.
I don't love it, but out of a shortstop, I think I'm going to have to take it.
That's a pretty good number for a shortstop.
I'll take it.
So,
Chris, you need a second baseman and a shortstop before you can get to the wild card round.
Chase Utley.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Chase Utley had 146 home runs in this time span.
God, that's brutal. I'm gonna. All right, I'll remind me. There's another name I'm thinking of later,
okay,
and I'll bring it back and we'll see. I'm gonna go Robbie Cano. He came up at some
Robbie
point
Cano,
in this
don't
window.
you know?
They went to the World Series in 2009. I just don't know. He might have not come up until 2006.
Robbie Cano's career started in 2005.
It did. Okay.
So let me do some math here.
His first 4 years. It's not going to be Utley levels, obviously.
87 for Robbie Cano.
That's not good.
I'll just go Hanley for short.
Hanley.
Oh, I'm a fool.
For me?
I'm a fool. Oh. I'm a fool.
He had 103 home runs.
Yeah, that's really good.
From 05 to 09. I must have just looked past his name.
Okay. Third base. Because I have Pujols, Tejada,
and Cano. Yeah.
Third base, I'm gonna go Adrian Beltre.
Ooh, love that name.
My team.
Beltre had 103 home runs in this time span.
I'm not even close to Chris.
Cody's at 592.
Yes, I am.
And Jeremy
Is not
at
close to that.
491. So 101 home runs down. So you got plenty of ground to make up,
Okay.
but there's plenty of time. So now you go 3 at any position.
I'm going to go with Carlos Delgado.
Great pick.
Delgado is on here. He was 23rd in this time span with 137 home runs.
All right, quick one off the dome. Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn 4th in this time span.
We can go outfielders?
Wait,
First baseman.
Oh, this is crazy.
I bet he played more of his
we're
games
going.
at
Hold on.
first base.
We're going.
That's
we're
fine.
Going,
That's fine.
We're
If-
going to the ruling.
Yeah,
we're
it's
going to
fine.
the ruling.
If
We're
he
making
played
the ruling.
more, I'll even do majority. It's fine. If he played more of his games in the outfield.
Adam Dunn played way too much outfield.
Okay,
during this.
that's fine. That's fine.
Way too much
I had
outfield.
him as a first baseman.
He played thousands of innings in the outfield.
he
played
definitely
hundreds
This
of innings.
is
in
yeah,
the
gross.
outfield.
he definitely played a lot more first base than A-Rod played shortstop.
This
but that's fine.
Is gross.
Jeremy's right on that.
That was the name that was there. He probably played a third of his games at
he had
first
so many
base,
home runs, too.
and he hit so many home runs.
so many home runs. He had
but
198.
we're doing infielders, though. And if you want to
I
play the
just-
word,
that's
everyone
fine.
associates him with that
That's
as an
fine.
outfielder.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. I'm not arguing with you.
Can I reiterate? Gross.
Emmy winner Adnan, let's continue here. We haven't spoken since mid-December. So we've talked about some of these big market teams. We've talked about the moves made in the last week. But can you give me 3 other transactions that we can look at over the last month and a half or so that have caught your eye that the viewer should know about?
Well, it's interesting. All these moves, we always wait for all the big moves to happen at winter meetings, and then most of it doesn't happen with the exception of Pete Alonso and the Edwin Diaz. But look at the timeline on all these, Jeremy. January 10th was Bregman. January 15th was Tucker. January 16th was Bichette. But one that I think was under the radar was Ranger Suarez, which was January 14th. He signs a 5-year, $130 million deal with the Red Sox. And this is a guy who was a premier lefty a season ago, was so vital to that Philadelphia Phillies team. I think Boston right now, they've got a pretty impressive pitching staff. They've got Garrett Crochet, you got Ranger Suarez, you got Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, Brian Bayo. They got Sonny Gray now. So
It's a lot of depth.
7 right? It's a lot of depth. I don't know if necessarily all these guys hit. I'm not sure about Sonny Gray at this stage of his career. But you've got 8 starting pitchers there. So Boston, to me, at least they've got depth. I still feel like they're one bat away. They could use an Isak Paredes to help out their offense. But Boston, at the very least, excellent pitching. And I do think right before that, January 13th, Nolan Arenado gets dealt. And this is a guy who's an 8-time All-Star. He might go in the Hall of Fame strictly based on defense. He's one of the great defensive third basemen of all time, and obviously he can hit. I know his production has dwindled drastically the last couple of seasons, but I'm curious if a change of scenery will help him. Going from St. Louis to Arizona, it's an intriguing move for me, at least with him going to Arizona. And you mentioned Cabrera as well, January 7th. That Edward Cabrera trade to me was interesting. The Marlins, we know, always are flush with these arms. They're really good at retooling on the fly. Those are the 3 to me, Suarez, Arenado, and Cabrera.
Those are all big deals for teams that are trying to find a way to compete and take that next step this upcoming season. And I look forward to watching it with all of them. And again, I know the Marlins are pretty excited about what they got in return, Owen Casey from the Chicago Cubs. Let's talk about it here, right? We head into February, and there are always interesting free agents that are still available, especially in the last 5 to 10 years here, Adnan. So when we go into February of 2026, who's the free agent that's catching your eye, and maybe when and where do you think that guy might sign?
Yeah, we're a couple weeks away from Valentine's Day, and the segment we did on MLB Tonight was most eligible starters. So it's obviously Framber Valdez, who you thought was going to get a huge deal, but I think there's real concerns about his character. September 2nd, throwing at his catcher, Cesar Salazar, that kind of a move just can't happen. So I think clearly everyone was like, not sure I want to give this guy big-time money. Therefore, it's an overpay for Dylan Cease from the Blue Jays, who's probably a great number 3 or a good number 2, and they give him $210 million. But the point is, I would have thought Framber would have gotten that kind of money, but instead it hasn't materialized yet. So I still think the Orioles make the most sense for them. The Orioles are one really good start away from being, I think, a legit team in the AL East again. They got Taylor Ward, good pickup there from the Angels. They got Pete Alonso at slugging first base. When you get Framber Valdez, and all of a sudden you go, all right, you're pairing them with the Gunnar Hendersons. Hopefully Adley Rutschman bounces back. Pasayo at catching. Then Baltimore's a player again. So Framber's the guy for me. I know there's questions, like I said, about his character. That's why he hasn't been signed yet. But there's no questions about his talent. He was in the 97th percentile in ground ball percentage a season ago. He's had a 3.30 ERA over the last 4 seasons. He did have a bad second half, 6.05 ERA, but generally, like, this guy's hovering around 3.5 every season, and he's durable. He's going to give you 170 innings, so he's an excellent pitcher. There's no doubt about it. I'm a little surprised it's February 1st. He's still out there. Another guy is Zach Gallen, who had a great second half, 3.32 ERA.
Love
South
Zach
Jersey
Gallen.
guy, fellow Eagles fan. He's a great guy. He's pitched in the World Series, so I think he had a bad first half. Sometimes that happens with timing, but like, he's a good pitcher. He's out there, and the other one is
Lucas Giolito.
Lucas Giolito, exactly.
Yeah.
Giolito's still there, who also had a great second half. He had a 2.5 ERA in the second half. And when he wasn't available for the playoffs, you saw that sting there for the Red Sox. So I think those are three guys, three pitchers right there in terms of Framber Valdez and Giolito and Zach Gallen. And I will throw in a hitter as well, Jeremy. Eugenio Suarez is still out there, man. This guy
Crazy.
40-plus home runs. I mean, he was so big for the Mariners. They re-signed Josh Naylor. I think it would make sense to re-sign him there. But I can't believe it's almost February 1st. And Eugenio, and a guy who hits home runs like him, still out there on the market.
All four of these guys could potentially influence who ultimately end up being real contenders come October, and yet we're headed toward February, and all four of them are sitting out there. It should make for an interesting month next month, and Emmy winner Adnan, we'll probably have you back on this program before spring training gets started. So Emmy winner Adnan, thank you for joining us today with your Emmy behind you.
I appreciate it, buddy. We'll never get tired of hearing that. And yeah, I can't wait for the baseball to begin. A couple weeks away. By the way, much warmer weather there for you, Miami. We're looking at 12 degrees here in New Jersey. So
it's chilly, okay? I had to wear a cardigan today, Adnan. All right?
A chilly 49 degrees in Miami.
We'll see you soon.
Now I need to think for a second. I'm gonna go Paul Konerko.
That's good.
Paul Konerko's 13th. He has 156 home runs.
Okay. All right. Chipping away.
My first guess was 137, so you gained about 19.
19. All right.
2 more guesses?
Yeah.
2 more each.
I feel like I guess this guy's name every time we play any game. And I'm always wrong. I feel like I have my timing wrong on when this guy played. Richie Sexton.
I love that.
I use him all
He's
the
your
time.
guy.
He is your
He
guy.
had a nice, like...
He definitely was around
he had
during this
he
window.
had some all-stars. Like, he had some 29, 30 home run seasons.
He hit 106 home runs
okay.
in this.
That's good.
Jason Giambi.
Giambi hit 128.
So I'm still up by...
I still need to get like
You're up
60
about
more
60.
than you.
I just
Yeah,
need
60.
to get someone in the hundreds here. Just a nice, solid...
You got this.
Did you think of someone good, and that's why you're
I thought I did, but now I'm questioning myself if the window is the right window. But I think it is.
Chipper Jones.
Ooh, that's
late.
a great one.
Love Chipper.
No, that's
Chipper's-
good.
That's the end of Chipper's career, though.
I don't know.
That is the back end of his career, I have to imagine. 116 for Chipper.
Okay, yeah, you ain't beating that.
Ryan Howard.
Finally, somebody
No
said
way
Ryan
he
Howard,
has- You need to get...
It's not going to be enough, but somebody finally
It's
said
not like 170,
the
right?
number one home run totaler in this time frame. He had 220 home
No,
runs.
then he did beat me.
I beat you.
Yeah, he beat me. Thanks. He just beat me.
Oh my God. You beat him. Holy 96 more.
Walk off.
Wow. 94 more home runs. All
Thank
right,
you,
so let me
Ryan
do the
Howard,
math.
and your endorsement of Subway.
Wow.
That felt good.
That was exhilarating.
Can I tell you, the face that I made wasn't for Ryan Howard.
Who was it for?
It was for Rafael Palmeiro. And then I thought it might be too late. And I got to tell you, Chris, you naming someone
That
in
probably
the NL
would have been
East,
too late.
Just triggered it.
it just triggered it in my head. In my brain, I went from, because who did you just say?
Chipper.
You got Chipper, and I went, ooh, David Wright. And then I went, who else was around at that time? Even after you said Chase Utley, I didn't think about Ryan
I
Howard.
know. I don't know why I said Chase Utley and not Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard,
Final total.
I love you.
That is wild. I said Chase Utley and didn't think of Ryan Howard.
So Jeremy wins by 44 home runs.
What a collapse.
Just shows never give up, boys.
Collapse.
That felt really
Never
good.
give up.
That felt really good.
Felt really shitty.
None of these games are ever over.
See you guys in February.